I feel like a forgotten art of video game development and critique is with video game music, because music can really help out the atmosphere in games depending on what tone the developer is trying to establish. For example, the music in Super Metroid, you enter the destroyed laboratory, and at first there's not much going on, then as soon as Ridley shows up, you get hit with this shit. Now that's some atmosphere. Or how about in Sonic Mania, a game that celebrates all the old Sonic games, you get hit with that like classic Green Hill Zone shit. You know, this sounds pretty tight. Until the second act, where not only did they add new level ideas, but enforce that with a new remix of Green Hill Zone. Now that is some goddamn good music. Or what about in Majora's Mask, where the moon is straight up about to fall into the world and the legitimate apocalypse is happening, so you get hit with that bone-chilling, what I want to call, real shit. Speaking of Zelda, what about the Ocarina of Time opening, setting the stage for something epic and grand? Or Metal Gear Solid 3 with the fantastic James Bond-esque song, you know, Snake Eater. I give my life! Now, I'm sure when people bring up the best video game soundtracks, some names are going to get thrown around. You got the Halo soundtrack, which is pretty fucking awesome. Already mentioned Ocarina of Time, Persona 5 is a new contender, Skyrim, and of course the almighty Mr. Mario himself. Just any of them, people love this shit. However, I can't help but feel that one franchise has gone criminally overlooked, and while some have been woke enough to realize the magnificence of these soundtracks, most people haven't even heard these tracks, and that fact alone is enough for me to justify my hatred of the human race. Now let's take a look at the Donkey Kong Country franchise and their amazing soundtracks. They cover everything from better ambient tracks that would have Chilled Cow fucking quaking harder than Haiti in 2010. Does that joke go too far? Probably. This shit can pull a teardrop to your eye without even speaking a single word. It'll give you shit that slaps harder than the newest Denzel Curry album. I'm not even joking, so fine, let me explain myself. When it comes to video game soundtracks, it should try to emphasize a few things. I've already stated this, but tone and atmosphere, which I will argue are two different things, at least in my brain. Tone should try to establish the mood or emotion the song and game are trying to convey. Atmosphere should be the location in the game, and when you listen to it, it should be able to transfer you to that place mentally. Like, yeah, Bomb on Battlefield is pretty neat, but if you listen to it on its own, what the fuck? What is this trying to send me to? That's what I thought, and while I'm shitting on good video game soundtracks, let me play this piece for you. This song is the final boss theme in Final Fantasy 15. It establishes the importance and intensity of the final fight, except for the fact that I just fucking lied to you. That's the final boss theme in Skyward Sword, you fucking idiot. Uniqueness and the ability to stand out also matter. The ability to be recognizable instantly is what most musicians are trying to do anyway, right? In most cases. Bam, when you play Megalovania, of course I'm gonna know that's from Umbrella's Tale. And of course, this last point may seem shallow, but I will argue will help your video game soundtrack be iconic. And that point is, man, you just need some shit that slaps hard, dude. Like the aforementioned Megalovania, that shit slaps so goddamn hard. But Satsushi, what does this have to do with Donkey's Dong? Well, my little viewer boy, let me show you. Let's talk about atmosphere first, because I want to save tone for last. Well, let's see here. The first Donkey Kong game, you start in a jungle island with barrels and beavers and shit. So how do we portray this in song? Simple. You start the song with animal noises. Now the first level also does a neat effect where at the beginning it's daytime and by the end it's nighttime. So this song portrays this with the first section being all upbeat and fun and shit, right? But once dusk hits, the game starts singing a different tune to reflect that. I'm not even done yet, you steaming pile of Mario Odyssey. That means shit. So let's jump over to the second game where I have a few different examples, but I'm only going to focus on 2 of them. I will mention Klomp's Romp though, for the fact that it starts with nothing but boat noises, like the creaks of the ship and waves crashing against it, then evolves into a neat little piece, but the noises never stop, emphasizing that no matter how safe the song makes you feel, the constant crashes will never let you rest. And you're also on a boat. Oh yeah, for the second game it's all pirate themed except for a few locations. So now there's a totally different feeling from the previous soundtrack, one of determination but also fear of the unknown as you were no longer on DK Island. You're now at King K. Rool's Island where everything is stacked against you. You want an example of this? Look at the intensity that is Lockjaw Saga. The sounds of water crashing against the ship and the heavy beat of drums making sure you feel claustrophobic as shit and stuck inside the ship. Now, to be real with you guys, I was going to pick Bio Boogie for this next track, but Hothead Bop is, well, it's a bop. Lava bubbles bursting, but still keeping it upbeat because yeah, you're a couple of monkeys jumping off of crocodile heads. You think this was meant to be that serious? But that's enough about atmosphere. I think I've gone on about it enough. So uniqueness is up next, and guys, to be real with you, I'm not a pro musician, okay? I don't understand why if someone played these tracks randomly, I'd easily be able to be like, hey, this is Donkey Kong. Maybe it's nostalgia, or maybe it's consistency, like the bass guitar and drums and shit. For example, let's look at Gangplank Galley and a fan favorite. Like, this song is so iconic, it got a Smash Brothers remix. It reuses all the drum samples from earlier songs, and the song's just so good, but the context is what's important. You're fighting the final boss of the game. Like, of course the music is going to go, dare I say it, ape shit.
Huh? Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But now let me show you Snaky Chanty. Hey, isn't this the same song? Oh, you poor soul. You big fucking idiot. Similar to what I said about Sonic Mania and Green Hill Zone, with this newly added animal buddy, you're just hopping around on crocodile pirates, the music reflects that. Again, I couldn't give you a very specific reason on why this music just clicks with me, but it has a unique sound to everything else that was put out on the Super Nintendo. If a music genius could tell me specifically why that is, then feel free to let me know. So on to the next category, shit that just slaps hard. Well, seeing as how I don't need to explain much here, because this is all subjective. Right now I'm just gonna pick some of my favorite songs and play them with no real context. I just really enjoy them. Like Mining Melancholy, it's definitely a standout for the whole series. Another song is Treetop Rock. It just makes me feel lost and I love it. That same reason is also why I love Flight of the Singer. Primal Rave is also another fucking crazy song that I don't think gets a lot of love. And while I could keep going on and on, I'm trying to make sure this video isn't too long, so we might as well move on to the last section. Tone. The emotion of a song, and while I would say a majority, if not all the songs on the first two games soundtrack do a good job of this, some are just so good that they need to be put on a higher pedestal. Now, of course, I'm talking about the two kings of these soundtracks, and for those of you who know, you already know what songs they are. And I don't really want to explain what these songs are supposed to make you feel, because I think they speak for themselves, and I don't want to play the songs in full, so I'll leave a link in the description for these and all the other songs used in the video. So just put on some headphones, close your eyes, and enjoy the peace of aquatic ambience. For the next song, people will argue that this is the best song out of all the ones in the series. This is the real shit. Sticker Brush Symphony. Ends, I would like to encourage people to check out two channels, one being TerraBlue, who's been remastering all the songs in HD using their original sound files, which is fucking awesome. I love this. The next would be PPF, who does amazing covers of video game music and is one of my favorite music channels, as dumb as that might sound. I actually used his footage in the Skill Floors video. Now, some of you may be asking, hey, what about Donkey Kong Country 3? Well, I don't fucking know.